trying to establish that his DNA matches one strand of hair, right? One follicle of hair, I guess you call it a follicle. The point is that they're excluding a portion of the population, and they're including a portion of the population. There's nobody on the face of this earth that's credible is going to say that hair is my client's hair. It's impossible under science standards.
Is it? We shall see. The suspected Gilgo Beach killer's attorney disputing the DNA evidence outside of court moments ago. Suspect Rex Heuermann spent this morning in court his third time. He's charged with killing 3 women. The bodies of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello were discovered along a Long Island beach in December of 2010. Heuermann is also a suspect in the disappearance of a 4th woman. Joining me now, trial attorney and legal analyst Misty Marris. Misty, you heard the attorney there talking about DNA, and it will be very important in this case. He mentions the hair, but interestingly, though, prosecutors are also tying him to DNA they found on a pizza crust, that they tracked him and followed him. Why is that also equally significant?
Oh, Marni, this was a big day in the courtroom and major developments here with respect to the DNA. So for prosecutors, this piece of pizza crust was gathered during the investigation. DNA from the pizza crust, this type of DNA called mitochondrial DNA, matched a hair that was found on one of the sacks that the body was in. That's how they connected Heuermann to these crimes. That's a central component of the case. Well, now prosecutors had asked for Heuermann to do what's called a buccal swab. That's a cheek swab. That is nuclear DNA. That's more dispositive. And guess what prosecutors said today? The DNA matched. The cheek swab matches the pizza crust. So the prosecutors are putting together that case to directly tie Heuermann to those bodies. It was a major development here, and I'm not surprised to hear the defense attorney. I knew this is where it was going. They're going to contest the evidence as far as the forensics. They're going to say either the collection was not legal, they're going to say that there's no veracity to it, and they're going to challenge it based on expert analysis. And that's what we heard from the defense attorney right now.
And will the prosecutors be ready to debate that? Because they spent a lot of time and there was a lot of criticism about the slowness of the investigation. You have to imagine or expect they did not leave any T uncrossed or I dotted.
13 years, Marni. This was an incredibly long investigation. But once the federal government became involved, remember, it was these developments, the finding, identifying a car, and then identifying Heuermann, and then getting this DNA evidence, as we just spoke about, the pizza crust, and then surveilling him, hundreds of hours of surveillance of him at his home and in his office, also electronic footprint. So yes, they have a lot of evidence, massive amounts, in fact, as described by prosecutors, that they've brought forward. And Marni, they're prepared. They know that this case is going to live and die on that DNA, and they know that that's where the defense is going to challenge this, because that was such a dispositive component of this, and it's going to be what's called a battle of the experts in the courtroom. That's why they want this cheek swab, because that gets them a step closer to limiting the population and identifying Heuermann as directly connected to the victims.
The other piece of evidence that could be key in this case, Misty, is the belt with the initials WH on it. Prosecutors allege it belonged to Heuermann's grandfather, and that belt was found on the body of Maureen Brainerd Barnes. She's the 4th woman police are trying to tie Heuermann to. How will the defense explain that?
The defense right now, they're going to be saying that there's no proof that this was actually the belt of the grandfathers. They're going to challenge on that basis. And they're going to try and separate Heuermann from these victims to the extent possible. That's their goal. Remember, the prosecutors have the burden of proof, and the defense pokes holes in the case. So there's a long road ahead when we're talking about a trial, because, first of all, what evidence is actually going to be admissible? That's step one. Once evidence is deemed admissible, what are the defenses? Right now, that's what the defense is doing. They've already got 10 terabytes of evidence, Marni. Think about that. That was turned over to the defense. That's 8,000 pages. 5,000 more pages disclosed today, and another 10,000 photographs to be disclosed by November 15th. So a long road ahead for the defense to analyze and develop their arguments to the prosecution's case.
8,000 pages of evidence. This is going to be a long trial, but the nation will be watching because it is so tragic. Misty, thank you as always. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.